America, similarly a record low.
Okay, well, let me see if this is going to work. Okay, guys? I don't know if this is working or not. It shows it is. I'm using Wirecast Go. I know, Wirecast is a nasty name. Alright, so anyways, and I won't be able to see anybody's chats, so this will either work or it won't. It should, because I've had this connected to my Wirecast before, so it should pick up the RTMP and all of that. And I'm just running this over the top of what I already had, you know, with the same name and stuff. So I don't know if it's working, but looks like 2 are watching, so hey, that's something good right there. Anyways, guys, I'm the Grumpy Vlogger, and I cannot read your chats because, hang on a second, let me turn it this way. All right, sorry about that. Let me bring this out a little bit. There we go. Hey, Steve Tater, how you doing? Yeah, it's a little early. Anyways, what's going on is, obviously I'm in my truck, and at this point I won't be able to read anymore, but I'm using Wirecast Go, so I'm a little sorry about the hand there, but anyways, you guys are just going to have to talk amongst yourselves. I had to run up here to who wrote that? Anyways, guys, just to let you know, I'm bored. I'm on my way back from Tulsa now, or from Broken Arrow, which is about a 45-minute drive from the house. I had to, and the reason my angle is off is so I can actually read the chat a little bit. But when I get out on the turnpike, I'm not going to be able to. I didn't actually know if I'd be able to broadcast, but before I've always used the Streamlabs app, but for some reason it's not working. It didn't work the last time when Judy and I came back, so I knew I'd use my Wirecast Go as a remote camera when I was testing out my Wirecast, and so crap, yellow light, dead burn people. They were turning left in front of me, and of course that caused me to slow down to keep from hitting them. But anyways, I'm stopping at a red light now, but I'm headed back to Tulsa. Everything is backwards. I am sorry about that. I don't know how to fix that. But anyways, yeah, I'm sure the print's backwards because, and I don't know how to change that in this. This is on my phone, so hopefully when it uploads and people watch this, it'll turn it back around. I don't know. But yeah, it's Wirecast, so what do you expect? Of course it's going to be backwards. But yeah, I'm headed back from Broken Arrow back to Muskogee. I had to come up. Judy's got one of those scripts. It's for cough syrup. Her cough is doing better, but I wanted to have some getting through the weekend because she just about ran out this last week. So I wanted to make sure that I had enough to get her through the weekend. But anyways, and I'm sitting here getting ready to turn and get out onto the interstate. Oh, look at that. They gave me a green light just so I can come out here and turn. Not the interstate, but headed down the turnpike. So anyways, I'm driving back, and I thought, well, what better thing to do, because I've done this before. I'm bored, so I thought, you know, I'll just talk to you guys. So yeah, my show is early because, you know, I was bored. And I thought, you know, I'll just talk about driving home and whatever, and try not to get myself run over in the process. Okay, that guy liked his little Mustang. What in God's name is wrong with these people? Dear Lord, have mercy. One jackass drives down this side and he's hauling tail, and the other one comes down this side, cuts in front of me, and gets over in the other lane. I mean, he goes from over here to here, right in front of me, and just cuts me off and gets over in that lane. Now he's going back. He must be chasing the guy in the Mustang, because now he's gotten, at least he's taking a little precaution around the fuel truck up in front. That guy is a total jerk. Anyways, I just love driving in the big city. It's just so much fun because these people are inconsiderate, to say the least. You guys may hear me say a bad word or two on here, so just so everybody knows, because of the new YouTube rules, this is not oriented towards children, okay? This is not a children's channel, so if you kiddies are watching, you know, you need to get off my channel. But if you're over 18, feel free. I don't know if any of you guys have been hearing that garbage, but about the new YouTube rules. And here's the thing, if you have a lot of kids that are watching your channels, I guess one of the new things is when the change takes over, they will put you over on YouTube Kids and you won't be seen by the grown-ups. They'll assume that you are a kid for the kids. And also, if you're watching a lot of children's shows, you know, or shows about other kids, you know, there again, I think they're going to assume you're a kid. So, I don't know what it means. I think they got sued. Actually, I did see something about it on Fuchsia Studios, the FTC. They settled up. They fined them $168 million. They fined Google, who is the parent company. So, I don't know what it's all about. Doesn't affect me because I've never claimed to be a children's channel or geared my stuff towards kids. So, anyways, like I said, I'm using my phone, so I can't really read the chat, but looks like I got 5 people watching anyway, so that's good. And but yeah, I'm just driving home. I didn't have a lot to do, and I needed to run up. Still waiting on my van. The van won't be out because, you know, I think I put in there. The van went into the garage yesterday. There was some good news and there was some bad news. The good news was it wasn't the timing belt or timing chain. The bad news was it was 2 of the coils, and those failures were caused because of the valve cover leak, which I knew I had a leak. I just didn't know where it was at. The valve cover was leaking severely onto the 1 and 3 cylinder, and thus causing those coils to fail. So, the valve cover gasket has to be replaced. Of course, it was the one that was under the manifold. So, but from when I looked at the kits, they have to pull the manifold to change those coils out anyways. So what I thought was going to cost me about $1,400 to get everything done, including my brakes and all the fluids flushed and changed out. Yeah, well, some of that stuff's going to be done by dear old me or my kids, my boys, because with what it's costing me to have that part fixed, it's cost me as much as it would to have all the rest of the stuff fixed. So, I'll still have the van. It'll be in good shape. The front end's okay. It just need, like I said, I need new brake shoes on the front and the rear, or brake pads. That shows you how old school I am. Brake shoes, brake pads on the front and the rear. So let me turn on this. I am now out on the turnpike, so I can smoke it on down the highway a little bit. Get up to about I'm gonna pull between 75 and 80. That'll keep me off the radar, more or less. They'll think, the old fool can't read his if they take that fuel. You know, if I had a place, I'd just have parked that fuel truck over next to my house, and I wouldn't have to have any gas for a while. But, you know, what can I say? So yeah, Judy's not with me. She chose to sleep in. I was awake at 6 o'clock this morning. We went to sleep early last night, and then we both woke up, and I ended up talking to Grant, Mr. Stay Drunk, at wow, that looks like a brush fire or a house fire. Whoa. look through that. Something's on fire in that yard. I saw the smoke as I was coming through here, and then I looked over and off to my side. There's a subdivision over there, a bunch of houses there. And this looked like either the backyard was on fire or a building in that backyard was on fire. So, anyways, let me get resumed. But, guys, I appreciate you guys stopping in and watching and listening to me ramble on. You know, I'm going to see if I can maintain an audience for 45 miles. If I can keep the attention of at least one person, I've succeeded. But I was just listening. I have this on a little bit of a video that I did on the way up. Because you guys know when I'm driving, I'm usually recording, okay? And I dump a lot of my recording because I look at it. By the time I get to it, it's like not relative. So I'm going to talk about this on the live stream in case I don't put that other part up. But I've still got a nice green line. I'm just doing this on my cell phone going down the highway, and I've got a nice strong green signal. But oh, and something else. Monday night I was having a little bit of buffering problem between Mel and I, and when I did the speed test, my speed test was pretty poor for what I usually have there in my office. But when I went back and I speed test off the main signal, I noticed that everything was good. So I've got to figure out, I shouldn't have had any problems because I'm wired directly to that, but it receives it wirelessly from the living room. So I'm probably going to have to reset my router extension in my office so that it'll pick up clear, because I think that's what my problem was Monday night. I noticed it was running at kind of an orange light, so it wasn't the blue or the green that it's supposed to have. So I'll reset that when I get home. And guys, I really wished I could see what you're saying, but it's just too small. And actually, it looks like I may have to get off here because it looks like my phone is starting to slowly fade. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but I don't know if it's getting too hot. No, it's not that hot. I don't know why it's doing that. But anyways, the screen seems to be getting dark on me. I don't know why it would do that, other than the fact it might be overheating, but I've got the air on. I don't know if you guys have an iPhone, one of the iPhone 10s or not. I better slow down because that police officer right there behind me would probably love to give me a ticket. What a police officer. But it looked just, yeah, it's a Dodge. It looks just like their cars. So, anyways, like I said, what I was going to talk about was I was listening to some talk radio, and they were talking about the new Green Deal and all that stuff. You guys know I'm running for president, so I thought my climate initiative, I've decided my climate change initiative that I'm going to deal with. Okay. In the discussion that was on the radio, they were talking about the fact that we have actually, as a country, have rolled our carbon pollution or our CO2 emissions or our greenhouse emissions all the way back to what it was in 1985. So we're back to what it was. We have less pollution than we did in 1985, or equal to. So we've gotten better instead of worse. But the two biggest offenders of that are India and China. Well, China, there's not a lot we can do about it. They're manufacturing all of our drones, so we got to be nice to them. So we can let that slide so we can keep getting our drones. That's okay. I can deal with that. But India now, here's the problem. I've been saying this for 20 years that they were the largest polluters, and here's my theory. Okay, India, the Hindus, or the Hindu religion, believes in reincarnation. Anyways, cows are sacred over here. So they've got, in a lot of places over there, cows just wandering the streets. Okay, So we know that cows eat grass. So I'm covering two different things at the same time. I'm dealing with climate change, and I'm also dealing with health problems. Because everybody says that being vegan is better. And you guys remember a while back I showed that little tag that came off of Judy's purse, and it said vegan leather. Well, I know how that came about. Vegan leather is off of cows. It's just the same kind of leather we've always had. But you got to remember, cows eat grass, so they're vegetarians. So if you eat a cow, you're eating a vegetarian cow. So that's vegetarian beef, all right? So that takes care of that part. That way, you can still be, you get your beef, but you can say, hey, I'm eating vegetarian beef, because cows are, by nature, vegetarian. Okay, the second part is the climate change initiative. I'm going to put into motion that we help India eliminate those cows by eating them. Okay, let's cut down on the methane output, because here's the problem. Cows fart. And farting, because they have done a study on this, farting contributes methane and contributes to global warming, to greenhouse emissions. So if we eat more beef, we will be helping people out, because we're eating vegetarian cows, because all cows are vegetarian. Sorry about the road. And second, we'll be helping with the climate change problem, because we'll be eliminating all of those cow farts. So that is my climate change. Eat beef, eliminate cow farts, help the environment. That's my climate change initiative policy when I run as I'm running for president. I just wanted to get that out there. I hope you guys understood that. I hope I was able to keep that on a level that everybody understood. Eat beef. Stop the cow farts. But remember, it's always vegetarian beef, okay? Anyways, I had to do that, guys. You know I did. I can't wait to see what the comments are on this live stream when I get home. But, well, I'm down to 3, so when I get down to 0, I'll shut this thing off. But I just wanted to do that. I'm just having fun driving, trying to stay awake. I'm drinking, because as I said earlier, Judy and I both woke up, because we went to sleep kind of early last night. Judy and I both woke up at, I don't know, 6 o'clock this morning, and then I got on and talked with Grant, Mr. Stay Drunk, for about an hour and a half. And then I rolled over and went back to sleep, and finally got up and got around and said, well, I gotta get up to Tulsa. But yeah, I will look forward to seeing your comments, good, bad, or indifferent. It doesn't make any difference. By the way, if you haven't subscribed, if you like what you see here, please hit the subscribe button. And if you like it, give it a thumbs up. And I'll tell you what, I've got a few thumbs down lately, and that's okay. I appreciate the fact that you took the time out of your day to view enough of my stuff to decide you didn't like it. So that's view time. So just, I appreciate the thumbs down, And I didn't fire this up because I got some great announcement about the newest and greatest and best thing that's out there. I needed to keep the company. I needed some company to keep me going as I was driving home, because I'm a little tired. But yeah, I'm going to have to stop. I'm going to have to go back. I did solve Judy's phone problem. She's been having problems with her. She has an iPhone 8X or 8 Plus, and I got it for her because it was the last one to have a button on it. And but I didn't realize it was thumbprint activated. Well, her hands, because of the Parkinson's, she has poor circulation and stuff because of all the other stuff, and her thumb does not register real well. Like when she went to get her driver's license the last time, she put her thumb down on there, and they had to actually have her, I had to warm her hands up so they could get a thumbprint impression, because they just couldn't get a thumbprint impression because her hands they just don't have real good circulation. She's always been like this, But, and so she had problems using the iPhone 8 Plus, because that's actually, it's not a real button that you push, it's thumbprint recognition. So that created a lot of problems for it. So I went back over to AT&T, and I think I may have already put this up on a video. I can't remember now. I'll have to check. But I went, if I didn't, it'll be up next week. But I went over to AT&T, and I said, I need a phone simple enough. And they had one. I don't know if you guys remember when AT&T Wireless was Singular. You know, that was their wireless service for AT&T Southwestern Bell. And it's called Singular. Well, they still make the Singular flip phone, but now it's called the Singular 2. And it's a combination. It's a semi-smartphone. It takes pictures and it does a few things that a smartphone does, but it's still a flip phone. It's basically an old-fashioned flip phone. And it's probably the first phone she's been able to use probably in the last 5 or 6 years that she hasn't had difficulty with. So that's good. So I just got her good old-fashioned flip phone, and we called it good. But anyways, oh, it's nice out today. I mean, it's a little warm because I got my air conditioner on, but what amazes me, here we are in September. Usually in Oklahoma, everything around here would already be brown because it would have been hot. Everything would just be brown because lack of rain and all that stuff. But we had so much rain this year because of the flooding and stuff, and our temperatures never really got. I think we had maybe 2 days of 100-degree weather. We had several days that were close, and it felt like, it felt like 100-degree weather. But yeah. So let me see if I don't know if I can flip this around or not. Yeah, there we go. I'll let you guys see some of the countryside. There we are. Those little road signs there. Oh, somebody's got them. Anyways, this is where I'm traveling through. This is some of the countryside that I'm traveling through. So, not much to show, but it is what it is. So, just nice open country between Broken Arrow and Muskogee. I mean, a lot of open country, a lot of countryside here, a lot of farming, and I mean, there's a lot of wooded area too here. This is all undeveloped property. This is where the hillbilly from Arkansas, they're driving about 20 miles under the speed limit. So, anyways, let me turn this back around. No. Okay, maybe I won't. There we go. Got it back on. Sorry about the hand there. That took a little maneuver. I'm glad you didn't see what it was really doing. But anyways, so okay, I got more viewers again. So anyways, sorry about that. I got change here. I just heard the rattling, so it's probably driving you. Yeah, for this being the first week in September, usually everything is just brown and it's brown and dried out, but we've had so much rain this year that I think the drought that we've had the last few years is over. I mean, it was about 4 years ago, I think, it finally broke that we had flooding about 4 years ago, and then we had this massive flooding this year. And man, I feel sorry for those people over in Hatteras that got hit in North Carolina. That's they're dealing with some massive flooding. I can't imagine. Well, yeah, I can, because I mean, ours was a slow-moving build to the flooding, whereas theirs just, I mean, they knew it was coming just like we did. Well, I don't know what this old boy is doing, but I think I'm going to slow down. There's a semi-truck, a flatbed with a bunch of stuff, tied down low, and he went to come over and cut over in front of me, and or he looked like he was going to. Yeah, I think he's going to. And it could be there might be some wind, but these guys are fishtailing all over the place, and I'm kind of backing off because I'm not sure I want to be tied up in that mess. So, anyways, guys, I appreciate you hanging with me and stuff, and I'm about 2/3 away home. I'm coming through the... Where am I coming through? Oh, shoot. I need to see about getting off up here. Now I got to get back over in this lane. Come on. Really? One way or the other, mister. Do something. Either crap or get off the pot, buddy. I want over in this lane. Because I've got to get off on this lane, on the Highway 69. Normally I go all the way around Muskogee and get off. But this time, we're just passing McDonald's, which means my... Well, that's a sharp-looking, it's a black, sharp-looking little Mercedes sports car. It's a hardtop, it's not a convertible, but it sure does look nice. More than I can afford, but anyways, I'm be getting off up here at the Highway 69 because I got to drop this script off, and I'm just going to take and drop it off. And that way I don't have to deal with it. I need to ask him some questions because I don't know if any of you guys saw this, but you guys know that I go to Walgreens for my prescriptions, and you guys know I haven't been happy. Well, this place that I get Judy's cough syrup at is it's called Ernie's. It's just an old-fashioned pharmacy. They don't have a soda fountain. That's the only thing that they don't have. But anyways, I go to Walgreens, and they've been ticking me off lately. And although the one guy over there, he's just as nice as can be, but they just announced, I just saw it, that they announced along with Walmart that they will no longer, they said open carry. I don't know if that'll change with concealed carry or not. Although it's more convenient because they're open more hours. I think I'm going to, if they take community care over here, I think I'm going to switch to Ernie's because I don't like the idea that I can't go into Walgreens because there's some nutcases that come in there, and I can't have my sidearm on me. There's been a few, drug addicts get pissed off about their drugs, and then, it is what it is. I know most people don't understand that mindset, but I just don't like to be where I can't have my protection. Now, if I can still go in concealed, I've got my handgun license, so I can carry if they allow it. But if they don't allow it, I'm just going to quit going there. I'll find somewhere else. I got other places I can go and buy my candy and medicines, So, I'm going to check with Ernie's, and I'm going to see about having all of my meds and stuff, all my prescriptions transferred over here to, because I just am not going to participate with a store that says, I'm legal to do it. I had to go through a course. I had to have a background check. I had to, the sheriff's department had to do a background check. I had to be fingerprinted. Then the state, the Oklahoma Bureau of Investigation, OSBI, Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation, they had to do a background check on me. They did a fingerprint check, and they checked back to see if there's anything in my record, and I know they did because that's, whoa. Watch it there, jackass. Stay on your own damn side of the road. What the hell? Damn truck was going to come over into me. I don't know what his problem is, but I know what it is. He probably wanted to get off up here, but he was cutting over into my lane, and he needs to stay on his own damn side. But hey, if he'd have hit me, it'd have made some really good video. But I just soon not. I will say this much: the river is down. I mean, we're talking the sandbars are showing, but I also know that they're holding it back upstream, and they've let it down as much as they can. I mean, it's down. This bridge here now, down over by where on my side of town, it's not that low. But on this side, It is really low because they're trying to get as much water out, because where those barges hit where the barges hit that lock and dam back during the flooding. They've got the water down, and they're cutting those barges up in pieces and taking them out. So, and then they've got to inspect. I think they've got them out now, but now they've got to inspect the lock and dam. So, okay, it's time to slow down. I am now inside the city limits of Muskogee, and so I'll slow down here. Probably not going to slow down as low, but anyways, yeah. So the river's real low because they've drained it to so they can get those barges out, because that's further on down around downstream, but they have to do it from up here. So they let as much out down there as they could, and are running it and holding it back upstream to keep it from constantly running. And they're holding it back in the lakes. They've let a lot out of the lakes, but they haven't let that much out. They're trying to get it all balanced out now after the flooding. So, but whoa, hello, folks. There's a car turning right here. What the? Advanced Wellness. Oh, yeah. It's a pot shop. You betcha. They're pulling in there to get their medicinal herbs, because they've got their dispensary open. You know, okay, so maybe that stuff's good for everybody. Maybe it's not. I don't care. I think it's hilarious, though, because right over there is a pot shop, and right over here is the Amish restaurant. Everybody's standing outside there, and it's smoke drift that way. You're going to have a bunch of smiling Amish folks. I bet they do great business, though, because you think about it. Everybody stops over and gets their pot at the pot shop, right? They stand out there and they get stoned, they get hungry. Just walk, a little bit, about 1-2 buildings down, and there's the Amish restaurant, and they can get all they can eat. They have big smorgasbord Amish restaurant. I'll bet they're making booming business now with that pot shop there, because all the munchies is going on. Just a thought, great business plan. I'm not sure it was meant to be that way, because the Amish restaurant's been there for years. The pot shop just opened up. The funny thing is, though, where that pot shop is at, the wellness center and dispensary for medicinal marijuana, where it's at, that property was owned by one of the most notorious crooks in our town, So, he and several other, and believe it or not, they're friends of mine, but he and several others of these type were either involved in some sort of skullduggery. They were either tax evasion or brothels. But they never were into drugs. They didn't do the drug stuff. That was for the punk street people. But they ran the brothels around here, or they were into, they dealt with the people that visited the brothels, and they had business. And sometimes these guys that owned the brothels had to, show their money, so they would, sell them